A 1, 2, 3.
Hey, it's Rachel and Barrett, and we are Theater Girls.
Theater Girls.
We want to answer all your questions
all around the world.
Hey, we know it's really hard being an actor in the industry.
Theater Girls are you and me, and Theater Girls are for E.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Theater Girls. I'm Rachel Schur.
I'm Barrett Wilbert.
And this is our first podcast episode, so welcome. Aren't you so lucky?
Yeah, wow. We're doing it.
We did it. We're doing it. It's here.
We made it work.
We are Broadway actors, best friends, and your new cool aunts in the industry.
Yep. And also that weird friend in class who you're not sure what their deal is, but then by the end of the year, they've become the only person you want to hang out with.
100%. We're the hottest girls in your improv class.
Yeah, but you probably won't agree until we establish ourselves as such through just pure guile.
Yeah. We're here to answer all your burning questions about the industry, what it's like to be an actor, what you really wish people would actually answer about the industry and not just like drink a lot of water and manifest. So we're here to answer the real questions.
Yeah, we're here to give you some actual practical advice for your life if you are a theater girl, and your career if you are a theater girl. And also
it's what is theater girl? Theater girl is anybody.
That's what I was just going to say. You do not have to be a girl to be a theater girl. But I think you already know that. If you've made your way here, I think you already know that.
So
which is why we decided to take all of the vowels out of the name of our podcast. So it's open to interpretation.
Hundo P. Hundo P. All right, guys, let's go.
Okay, so this is our first question. We are lucky enough to have it on voice memo, and it's from our new friend, Alana. So take it away, Alana.
Hey, Rachel and Barrett. My name's Alana. I'm a Gen Z actor sharing my work on social media. I'm just wondering how I can overcome the fear of criticism and cringe culture perceptions to confidently take risks and stay authentic in a highly scrutinized, social media-driven industry.
That makes me cringe.
Yeah, I mean...
I feel for the Gen Z crowd with cringe culture because one of the best pieces of advice anyone ever gave me was you cannot be afraid to look ugly or stupid. That's one of the first things you have to get rid of when jumping into all of this is you have to let go of that fear of perception. Yeah. Because you'll never find connection. You'll never find connection to who you are or what you're doing, and you'll never find connection to the people that are watching you. And so I think feeling already so perceived or picked apart by your generation and peers, that must be really hard. And I'm just here to say that's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. One of the things that I deal with all the time is I think I'm absolutely terrified of being perceived constantly. I care so much about what people think of me. I care so much about people's approval. I care so much about doing the right thing and being right and not messing up and not doing anything that would ever cause anybody to think I'm cringy or hate me. And at the same time, I've just had to develop the ability to be brave and to prioritize my own well-being and my own future and my own artistry over these horrible, anxious feelings of well, what's going to happen if someone does think I'm cringe?
Right.
I think I'm also in the unique position of the first time someone ever recorded me performing and put it on a social media platform was when I was 17 years old. So, and thankfully what they recorded, the work that I was doing, I was really proud of.
Shocking. That it was good.
Yeah. I mean, I was proud of it. I did kind of know it was being recorded, but not really. And so kind of from that point on, every single performance, every role I've ever played has been recorded and has been put on social media, largely like without me knowing, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, even when I was in college, you know, one of my friends who I'm grateful he did it because I never would have recorded it and put it on the internet, but one of my best friends recorded me performing in 9, the musical, and he also recorded me performing, I think it was the same friend, recorded me performing in Rent and put both of those performances on the internet because he wanted people to see me. So I'm in the unique position of literally every performance that I have ever done
Somehow ending up on the internet.
since I was not even a legal adult has been put on the internet. I don't remember what prompted this, but eventually I just started watching my own performances and just kind of like powering through the feeling of being like, oh God, I hate this. Like, I hate the sound of my own voice. I hate watching myself perform. I hate it. Oh my God, I can't believe I made that choice. I look insane. I'm overacting. I'm like sweating. I look horrible from this angle. Oh my God. Like, and there's just like, now there's just a familiarity with imperfection and with like knowing that there's always going to be something about my own performance that I genuinely hate.
Sure.
But also, like, more than that, it's just about, I'm like, okay, well, I like this one better than, like, the one that happened before that, or the one before that, or the one before that. But, I mean, for this generation specifically, talk about every moment of your entire life being recorded and put on the internet. It's so violating, especially when you're growing up. And sometimes you're the person who's violating yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think too, there's this level of like whataboutism that kind of enters the minds of the youth, which is, you know, you're posting a video of yourself singing and you're already so brave for doing that because you're so worried about getting picked apart. And then there's, you know, there's people coming in and saying like, ooh, this is cringe, or, you know, we should be posting about changing the world. Why are you posting about singing for your craft? And I think that there's just, you're never really going to win. And I think one of the funniest things that I was able to absorb and take personally and like it was from How I Met Your Mother, the cheerleader complex. And I like applied this. Okay. So I like applied this to my actual life and it worked really well. So like, it's a really, dare I say, cringy thing, but it's like Barney, Neil Patrick Harris is talking about the cheerleader complex, which is like you see a group of cheerleaders and they're really hot. And then like you look at them individually and like, I guess they were like mid, right? So it's like, but if you apply this actually just to people in general.
Just some light misogyny.
Light misogyny. But if you apply this to people in general, it's like, oh my gosh, they're this group of people, they're really scary. They're going to pick me apart. And then if you look at each person individually, it's just a person that has their own issues, their own flaws, their own faults, their own this, their own that.
Yeah.
And that really helped me, especially like as an understudy and like trying new things going on for the role. And like, especially in Chicago where everyone's sitting in the chairs and looking at you.
For those of you who are not aware of this, Rachel has been in Chicago, the musical, for
28 years.
It's been 82 years. For what, 7 years?
Off and on for 7 years. Yeah. And so
she's off right now.
Yeah. Going back in as Roxy for a bit.
For a minute, yeah. But yeah, so she is Roxy when there's not a celebrity.
Right.
And when there is a celebrity, she's the Roxy understudy.
Yeah. And so what was interesting for me was, you know, when I would go on, everyone was staring at me. Not only the audience, but like my peers, the people in my cast. And I would be afraid of cringe because I knew the backstage conversations that could ensue. Yeah. And so what I then realized was like, instead of looking at it as a whole and looking at it each individual, it's like, oh, that's my friend, or that's that person that doesn't even understudy this role. That's a guy. They can't play Roxy Hart. So I think after a while, I just realized that like when you break it down and it's not this whole overwhelming group of people, and you realize it's just like each individual having their own story and their own struggle, you realize like,
Yeah.
it's nothing. And more often than not, like people are going to appreciate that you put yourself out there because it then gives them the confidence to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
Instead
That's
of
just
like
bravery.
Yeah, just I mean,
And you have to practice being brave.
and if you have all these Broadway stars, I'm sure Barrett included, Barrett wasn't worried about being cringe when she went in for these roles that she ended up getting. And so you have to have an element of
Yeah.
I don't give a fuckism
Yeah.
when you're doing this. And also
Or just like, what's more important?
nobody cares.
in the moment.
Yeah.
What's more, especially, I mean, if you're talking about going into the room and being worried about cringe, like,
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, that just makes me want to talk about like, what even is cringe? Like, what are we really talking about?
I think cringe, my guess is this is probably more through the lens of social media and like putting your work
Yeah.
on social media, but I'm sure there's no way it doesn't affect you going into the room or going to a class or there was some professor that was talking about how this generation is so afraid of cringe that they're afraid to write stories or afraid to be writers because
That's tragic.
they're
That's
afraid
a tragedy.
of
there's
hustling.
something so beautiful about like being a kid or being a young adult. Like there's such a freedom there, and I hate thinking about how anybody,
feeling like a prisoner
is like
in your
paralyzed.
creativity. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the tough thing to navigate about social media, especially like as any kind of artist, is like you start to kind of feel, or at least I'll speak for myself, I started to kind of feel for a while like there was always somebody watching me, like even in my own home.
Mm-hmm.
And like I found myself kind of like performing even when there's nobody there.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I've definitely
like
done that.
Standing differently or sitting differently.
Yep.
Or like just having this bizarre presentational aspect to my existence even when I was by myself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I took a big social media break for, I don't know, a year. I think I'm at a year at this point. And I still am on a break.
Yeah.
Like I only recently just put...
I miss you, by the way.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I only recently just I put Instagram back on my phone so that we could source questions from you all for this show, but I'm immediately going to take it off. Like I would rather just put all of my social media apps on like an iPad and deal with it as
100%.
like a professional person instead of having it, hook back into my brain the way that it did for a long time. But also specifically about, it pains me to think that like classrooms are no longer a safe space for kids to work. Because at least like, I was really, really lucky to go to a performing arts high school, and those classrooms always felt like we would just like almost like a secret like Narnia door. Like we'd all go through the door and just work in private, and it was a completely judgment-free space.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just remember having it hammered into my head from a very early age of like, when you are in class is not a performance.
Right.
Class is the place that you go to work things out, to work on stuff, and to improve.
Right.
But you can't be good at anything. You can't excel at anything. You can't develop excellent technique. You can't experience what it feels like to like really not perfect something, but to really excel at something unless you first are like finding every way that does not work to do something.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think like the best advice that I could give anybody is to like actively search out like those safe spaces to work on your material and to work on your craft and to work on your technique. Like when I'm doing master classes, like around, I just went and worked out in California for a week and was teaching like a wide range of kids. I think it was like 11 to 16. And one of the kids who was really young, she asked me, she was about to like turn on a camera and film another student. She turned to me and asked me, is it okay if I film her? And I said, if she wants you to film her, that's completely fine. But you have to promise me that it's not going to go on social media, because I don't let anybody post anything from my classes on social media. It's not what it's for.
Right.
And I was like, but if you want to record yourself for reference later so that you can go back and look at it and remember what was being said, you can do that, or you can have somebody take notes for you, but this is not a performance.
Right.
And she was really little. I think she was like 12, and she like looked at me and she was like, yeah, you're right. I think I'll audio record like my session, but I don't want to film it. And I was like, yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't want any of you to be performing for me when we're working.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you're a young artist and you're experiencing like a general drought of safe spaces to work, like you can cultivate that for yourself.
That's a good point.
I mean, we both took Craig Cornelia's class, didn't we, for a long time?
Yeah. And Craig Cornelia is this amazing teacher, songwriter,
composer. He's a professor now as well, I think.
Yeah. And he really did create it. I mean, it was basically therapy in many ways.
The safest room in New York City.
100%. And I think, they exist, those safe spaces.
Yeah.
But
this was a musical theater performance class.
Right.
So you would bring in whatever you were working on. Like if you had an appointment coming up, an audition, you would come and work on your material. But also like on weeks when we weren't going in for anything, you would just
work on a song.
Bring in a song, and he would help you kind of flush out the backstory and connect everything to your actual life.
Yeah.
So that when you go into a room and you're bringing in your own piece or whatever, or if you're doing like a solo show or something, you can just kind of get up and access, some good storytelling ability from your own.
But I think what was
but
important
is an amazing community of people.
But I think what's important is like, even if you feel like maybe you can't afford a class right now, or you can't find one that feels like you're safe from the whataboutism cringe culture thing, it is up to you to decide kind of what you said, Barrett, like what is more important, being perceived in the correct PC perfect way. Or
perfection is so boring.
Yeah. Or knowing that you are trying to do something that's not of the mainstream. Like you're not going to school for marketing, or you're not going to be work at a hedge fund here. Like you are in an industry that implores you to find your weird side, your different side, your artistic side, your athletic side, your everything side, and it implores you to know it as deeply as possible. And you're not going to know it as deeply as possible even before your frontal lobes fully form. But that's the whole gig, is like know yourself as deeply as possible. And if you're too worried about someone saying like this is a little cringe, you're never going to find it. And not even just for like success in the industry, but like success in yourself, which is far more important.
Yeah. There's also a lot of freedom in like face planting into being cringe. Like embrace it, just jump right into the snake pit and 100%. Just feel what it feels like to be as cringe as possible.
Name a great. They were cringe at some point.
Absolutely.
Everyone had to do a tampon
every
commercial.
Day of my life. There have been performances of shows where I'm like, crap, I gotta cry in this scene, and I've just abandoned like everything I think and feel about like how like I think like crying is not acting, and like if you're trying to cry in a scene, you're just gonna end up being the worst actor anyone has ever seen, because all you're focused on is just like
sometimes I just like, won't blink.
All you're focused on is just like staring up into the lights and like making this sound with your voice so that like it sounds like you're crying, and then like
you're giving
squeezing
Kim Kardashian tears right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
no, but like, can you talk for a minute?
like just if you're trying to fake cry in a scene, which I have done,
Everyone's had to at some point. I've had to do it.
Inevitably, you come off stage and you're like, okay, well, that sucked and I suck and that was so cringy. Yeah,
And
when
you
the
know what,
lyric
though?
is, they made you cry, but that will end tonight, and the scene is dependent on me crying into Ryan McCartan's arms. It doesn't work if I'm not crying. But yeah, free falling into cringe is also an option.
And so, Alana, we want you to free fall into cringe.
Yeah.
It is the most important thing.
Exposure therapy.
And honestly, post more. Post your creative process. People love, I'm a social media manager. I know a little about this. People love to see you're behind the scenes. They don't want to see a perfect version of anything.
Yeah.
They want to feel a connection so they feel less alone.
Yeah.
So if you can be a little beacon of light for somebody else, it might help your fear around the cringe culture and realizing like the more light I can bring and just like the more levity I can bring to this, honestly, the more success you're going to just have. And it's not about booking the job. It's not about any of this. It really is about just feeling better with yourself. It's the best thing you can do is just feel good and really like yourself and really like it. And so I do think like there were times where I've posted videos and I've looked back and be like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And I'll leave it. I leave it there just because it's like it was where I was at the time. And if somebody has a problem with it, that really is on them. Because it's any consolation, no one cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
If they care, that's their stuff and they need therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the fear of criticism ever really goes away.
No.
For me. All I can really do is just prioritize like my own enjoyment and prioritize my own taste. Like, what do I think is technically proficient artistry?
Yeah.
What would because I always like shy away from using the term like good, because good is so subjective and art is so subjective, but it really comes down to taste. Like,
yeah,
if you're making art to your own taste and you really believe in it and really believe in what you're making, like somehow that tends to outweigh or at least like quiet all of the fearful voices in your brain. Because also like none of us get into this career to be perfect. Like none of us pursue a career in the arts.
You know what's interesting though?
What?
Is I think some do. And that's the mistake. Because there are a lot of dancers and a lot of technical singers that do come into the industry because they want to be told they're doing a good job. Especially the dancers, because it sadly is coming from this place of like, you must stand here, you must turn out, you must land the double, the triple, the
and there's
quad.
A time and a place for that.
Yes.
There's a time and a place for like technical dance, technical singing.
How many times do you, well, not you, Barrett, but how many times do I go to a dance call where the choreographer's like, we don't care how many turns you can do. We want people to collaborate with us and be like
people with
I hate to use the word, but like a storyteller. Yeah. And it's true. There's so many times where I've seen the girl do 8 turns and a backflip and she's cut because there was nothing coming from the soul. And can she do that? Of course. I'm sure her next audition she realized like, all right, I need to put a little bit more of me in here. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to allow yourself to be as weird or different or unique or normal or plain or as you possibly can in that moment.
Yeah. And attach a higher meaning to things.
Definitely.
Like, I think actually that's a really important thing to say, and I'm going to say it. If you're doing this for approval or for a pat on the head or for someone to say, hey, you did that perfectly. Hey, you're perfect. You are an absolutely perfect dancer or a perfect singer. I'm not going to say you shouldn't be in this industry at all, but I think you have to be more introspective and look at yourself and say, like, what is going on with my heart? Like, what
why do I need
is
that
in my heart?
Yeah.
that makes me feel like perfection is the only acceptable
Yeah.
outcome to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what about your own enrichment? What about developing your own taste? What about looking at art as a subjective thing where you get to pick and choose what speaks to you?
Yeah.
And what about putting all of that in your tank and then coming at your own art making from the perspective of art is important to a functioning society. And how can I contribute to that? And how can I affect people who are watching what I'm doing?
And that's a beautiful way of putting it. I also have like a real like, I want to do a tough love portion of this.
Do it.
What I have heard from a casting professional that casts very important pieces of work in our industry. This is going to get nitty gritty.
Who? Spill the tea and we'll bleep it.
I will not. What's so interesting about the generation now, Gen Z, whatever, is most of their college education, most of it was on Zoom because of the pandemic.
Right.
And I'm really sorry that happened to you all.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you all are brilliant at self-tapes. You're whizzes. You're geniuses.
Baby geniuses.
Baby genius self-tapes. Your lighting is impeccable. You
I get
sound
my best
unbelievable.
advice from Gen Z babies in my classes.
You look stunning.
Yeah.
But what's happened, and you're all getting called back into the room from the tape immediately.
Yep.
Majority of you are.
Yep.
What is happening in the room, from what I've heard, this is alleged. This is all alleged.
Allegedly.
Is that not majority, but a lot are actually having trouble in the room and in the process. So once you are cast or once you are in the collaborative space, you are actually having the most trouble because now the process of perfection for you or cringe where you can edit it and change control it or do it again is gone. And the only thing you have is yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't, especially in a new musical,
be a loose goose.
You got to be a loose goose. You got to be ready to go and feel very confident. And even if you're not confident, at least feel safe enough to trust yourself in wherever you are in the moment,
or start to experience that feeling for the first time,
which is a good thing to have. It'll make you impervious to the next time.
Yeah, you have a weird instinct to do something, you can preface it with, hey, I'm just gonna try this.
Yeah, so don't shit on the ex when you get there. Barrett just looked at me like, Rachel.
It took me a really long time to understand. You mean like your spike? Don't poop on your spike mark when you get into the room.
Don't go. You got this amazing opportunity. You're there. You cannot manipulate it. You can't manipulate it.
Yeah, go into the room and
mess up.
Be free and be terrified the whole time.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's
okay
fine
to be scared.
Terrified. Yeah, it's okay.
So to finish, we love cringe.
That's the best.
We want to see cringe.
It's delicious.
And you know what? We would love it if you would tag us in all of your cringy videos.
Please.
So that we can celebrate it.
Yeah.
And we can face plant and free fall into the snake pit of cringe and just hang out there.
We love
for
cringe.
A little bit.
Give us more cringe.
All Gen Z is saying when they're saying, ooh, cringe, hashtag cringe or whatever.
I'm scared.
Is that they're afraid. They're a little bit nervous and afraid.
A little nervy. That's okay.
And for those of us who have been cringe for a very long time, let me tell you, it's the freest place you can be.
Oh yeah.
So free yourself and be cringe.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our show today.
That was our show.
The end.
Yeah, we really had a lot of fun and we absolutely love that question. So please send us more of your questions to Theater Girls 4E. That is THTR GRLZ 4E at gmail.com. We prefer a voice memo.
Yes,
but
we want to hear your lovely voices.
Yeah, but send us what you got. And
send us your big questions. Send us your big, scary, weird questions that you're maybe a little bit nervous to ask people.
Yeah, and we'll do our best to answer them. And
we'll hold your hand. We'll guide you through this. We're here for you. You can find us on social media. My Instagram is @BarrettWeed. And yeah, come hang out.
My Instagram and TikTok is @It'sRachelChase because I'm also a married person and that's my married name.
Nice. Yeah, I forget what my TikTok is, but we'll figure it out next
We'll
show.
find you. Bye. Theater girls, theater girls, theater girls.
Do it again. Do it again.
Theater girls, theater girls, theater girls, theater girls, theater girls, theater girls, theater girls. I can't do it. Hold on.